affordability of cancer treatment. The 140th report on action taken by the government on the recommendations, observations contained in the 134th report on demands for grants 2022-23, demand number 46 of the Department of Health and Family Welfare. 131st report on action taken by the government on the recommendations, observations contained in the 135th report on demands for grants 2022-23, demand number 47 of the Department of Health Research, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and 142nd report on action taken by the government on the recommendations, observations contained in the 136th report on demands for grants 2022-23, demand number 4 of the Ministry of Ayush. Thank you, sir.
Reports of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice, Shri Sushil Kumar Modi.
मैं विभाग संबंधित कार्मिक, लोक शिकायत, विधि और न्याय संबंधी संसदीय स्थायी समिति के निम्नलिखित प्रतिवेदनों की एक एक प्रति हिंदी और अंग्रेजी में सभा पटल पर रखता हूं। पहला, पेंशन और पेंशन भोगी कल्याण विभाग से संबंधित पेंशन भोगियों की शिकायतें, पेंशन अदालतों का प्रभाव और केंद्रीकृत पेंशन भोगी शिकायत निवारण और निगरानी प्रणाली के संबंध में समिति के 110वें प्रतिवेदन पर की गई कार्रवाई से संबंधित 120वां प्रतिवेदन। दूसरा, प्रशासनिक सुधार और लोक शिकायत तथा पेंशन और पेंशन भोगी कल्याण विभागों की अनुदान मांगों 2022-23 के संबंध में समिति के 113वें प्रतिवेदन पर की गई कार्रवाई से संबंधित 121वां प्रतिवेदन। तीसरा, कार्मिक और प्रशिक्षण विभाग की अनुदान मांगों 2022-23 के संबंध में समिति के 112वें प्रतिवेदन पर की गई कार्रवाई से संबंधित 122वां प्रतिवेदन तथा न्याय विभाग की अनुदान मांगों के संबंध में समिति के 116वें प्रतिवेदन पर की गई कार्रवाई से संबंधित 123वां प्रतिवेदन।
Reports of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture, Dr. C.M. Ramesh.
Sir, arranged to present the following reports in English and Hindi of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture. 323rd report on Commission of Railway Safety. 324th report on issues relating to the untraceable monuments and protection of monuments in India. 325th report on issues relating to the road sector. 326th report on role of Indian mission globally for the growth of tourism in India, and 327th report on connectivity and tourism terminal facilities in ports. The reports were presented to the Honorable Chairman Rajyasabha on 15th June 2022, when the House was not in session, and forwarded to the Honorable Speaker Lok Sabha on the same day. Orders for the publication and circulation for the report were given by the Honorable Chairman Rajyasabha. Thank you, sir.
Reports of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Labor, Textiles and Skill Development, Sri M. Sanmugam.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I rise to lay on the table a copy of each English and Hindi the following reports of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Labor, Textile, Skill Development. 36 report on implementation of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana relating to the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. 37th report the development of man-made fiber relating the Ministry of Textiles. Thank you, sir.
Statements of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Srimati Ranjit.
I wish to lay the action taken with statement Hindi and English version, showing further follow-up action on recommendation contained and in action taken report of the Standing Committee on Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, as listed against my name is today's list of business. Thank you.
Statements by ministers, Dr. Jitendra Singh.
Chairman, sir, with your permission, I rise to lay on the table of the House statement regarding status of implementation and recommendations contained in the 366th report of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science, Technology, Environment and Forests on demands of Grant 2022-23 pertaining to the Department of Science and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology. Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Dr. L. Murugan.
Respected Chairman, sir, with your kind permission, I rise to make a statement regarding status of implementation of recommendation observations contained in the 34th report of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Communication and Information Technology on demands for grants 2022-23 pertaining to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Thank you, sir.
Honorable members, notices have been received under Rule 267. Shri Binoy Vishwam, Srimati Rajni Ashok Rao Patil, Srimati Priyanka Chaturvedi, Dr. Syed Nazir Hussain. I have carefully gone through the rule. I have gone through all the notices. I would invite attention of this House to the rule as such. The rule is carefully worded. The rule requires certain things to be indicated and duly spelled out. The rule does say it can be raised with the consent of the chairman. That part is complied for the reason it has been put to me. That any rule may be suspended. In not a single notice, there is a reflection as to which rule is sought to be suspended. Now, this House has to emanate a signal to everyone and other theatres. We must engage at least in minimum compliance. I must get assistance as to which rule the member wants to be suspended. Number two, the premise on which the rule is required to be suspended by the member. Further, honorable members, a rule which you have generated, the proviso says, provided further that this rule shall not apply. This is a mandate to me from you, where a specific provision already exists for suspension for a rule under a particular chapter of the rules. I would therefore call upon you that while inviting my attention to act in a particular manner as you deem expedient under Rule 267, please engage into full compliance with respect to the first part and also give exhaustively, according to your own perception, that there is no other rule where the issue can be raised by seeking separate suspension. Having examined the matter, I convey my decision. We need to put them in order, and that is the situation. I'll get it. One second. Mr. Derek Oberoi.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and formally a very warm welcome to the Rajyasabha.
Derek,
Chairman, we
Mr.
wish you-
Derek, belated one.
Yes.
Because an invite was extended to you on 2 occasions.
Belated.
Invite extended.
Belated. Oh,
Honorable Chief Minister was the first one to
Sir.
congratulate me.
Right. So that's,
But I am
sir.
with respect to the leader of the party on the house, in the
oh,
house.
that's very good.
Sir, the leader of the house need to know that issue between me and him are privileged. Between me and Derek
Good.
Oberoi.
So,
Come on,
sir,
come on,
this
Derek.
is a,
Please
this
make
is a
your
good
point.
start. I mean, leave the politics out. This is a good start. I mean, a sense of humor in this house will do all of us good. So in the spirit, that's the spirit, we can have a sense of humor. Sir, since you raised a specific question about the 267, and I was one of the members, there were 7 of us. I remember there were 7 parties. There was the Congress surely there and 5 parties, DMK, Trinamool. This was the last time, sir, to bring to your attention as a precedent, the rule 267 was in fact used or implemented. And at that time, sir, the notice, and I'm only here to share that notice and we can discuss it in a decent way later. At that time was November 2016, just after demonetization. There were different notices.
Make your point.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Make your-
by
make
one
your
point.
point.
By
Make
one
your
point.
point.
There were different notices from members, and all that the notice said was please implement Rule 267 and take up a discussion on demonetization. That was it. That was the notice, and we had a discussion. That's all I have to say, sir. Nothing more. Thank you.
I am great. One second. I am grateful to the honorable member. Trust your chairman. This issue which you flagged was on my table 2 hours before. I am fully aware of it. The point I made was very simple. I will take a call, and that call is my domain. Even if I find an issue where certain things are not up to the mark, it may merit attention. But I would require minimum compliance. And minimum compliance is that some due diligence is done at the level of the honorable member. Yes.
Grateful to you. A very good beginning, a warm beginning. And I'm very sure that this will make a difference in the House. The first time the chair mentions about a 267 notice. The practice was just ignore it. Then we were forced to make our voice here. So I'm thankful to you once again. Sir, you regarding the rules suggested your opinion. We respect it. The notice was given to you for suspension of the business of the House, not only one clause of the procedures. We are demanding you or asking you or requesting you that the remaining agenda of the House today can be suspended for the time being and then take up the issue of urgent importance. This is our point.
Sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak. But this is an important issue. And again, our request is not to break any kind of protocols, because this is a protocol we were made to believe is that we need to follow if we have to raise an important issue. So my request would be, sir, and that is why I sent you this particular notice, that the border issue between Karnataka and Maharashtra is an important issue and needs to be discussed at the
Priyanka,
national level. So like I said, we are a council of states, we represent our states, sir.
Honorable member, let me indicate, let us be transparent.
Absolutely, sir.
There is an issue,
Yes.
and the issue is with respect to the requirements of invoking Rule 267.
Yes, sir.
Now, if an honorable member rises, as you have risen, and seek to make an issue which is tangential, that will be inappropriate.
No,
If you have anything to say with respect to what I have indicated as regards the rigors of compliance, most welcome. Otherwise, come out with a formalized request. It will receive consideration and there will be structured discussion.
right.
Thank you.
So just a correction, it's
Selected
not conjecture, sir, it is
notices.
an festering issue.
And on that, Sri Ilamram Karim.
I am raising a burning issue related with the EPFO pension scheme. EPFO is still globally a largest social security organization, but the coverage of it is mostly limited to organized sector industrial workers only. That may constitute below 10% of the total workforce. The unorganized sector and informal sector workers are the major portion in our workforce. They are deprived in many cases. The demand for higher pension was raising by working workers, trade unions, and pensioners organizations since several years. Recently, some high courts intervened, and a particular verdict came from Kerala High Court to amend the existing rules and give higher and permit to higher option. The case was appealed by government and EPFO, and on November 4th, Honorable Supreme Court gave a verdict and said the amendments to the same, the amendment of 2014 shall apply to all employees, and Supreme Court also allowed another opportunity to EPFO members who have availed of the employees pension scheme to opt higher annuity over the next 4 months. Employees who were existing EPS members, those who are contributing 8.33% of their actual salaries, as against 8.33% of the pensionable salary, capped to Rs 15,000 every month towards the pension. Sir, after the Supreme Court verdict, Union government or EPFO has not given a clear order on this. Because of that, Supreme Court verdict is not came to force. Still, the pensioners are walking behind this Supreme Court order. Not only that, the burning issue is, after the decision of Government of India and EPFO, minimum pension raised to 1,000, fixing 1,000 minimum pension. Among the 7 million pensioners, 3 million pensioners are getting an amount lesser than 1,000. This is very sorry of a person. So the pension, minimum pension should be raised up to 9,000 per month. That is my request. And universal coverage of EPFO to all employees in different sectors, informal sector and unorganized sector, should be included in the EPFO scheme. That is my demand. I hope that Honorable Minister is here. He may respond a word.
Shri P. Bhattacharya.
Sir, I raised this issue not only the first time in this house, the jute industry, and so many times. And personally, I also talked to Honorable Minister in regard to this industry and this position. The jute industry occupies an important place in the national economy of India. It is one of the major industries in the eastern region, particularly in West Bengal. Jute, as it is saying that the golden fiber meets the standard of the safe packaging, etc., etc. So jute industry is not only in Bengal. Jute industry we can get in other states too. That is in Assam, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Odisha, Tripura, and Karnataka, and other places also. I have the 3 important suggestions to Honorable Minister through you, sir. One, the jute industry, the government of India, 1987, they came out with an act that jute packaging, particularly certain issues, central government, after considering the recommendation of SSC, may from time to time issue order under the section 3(1) of the JPM Act of compulsory use of jute packaging material or certain commodity or class of commodities or percentage thereof, it is satisfied that it is necessary to do so in the interest of the production of the raw jute and the jute packaging material. But unfortunately, sir, what is happening nowadays in the country, the synthetic products, the synthetic packaging, those who are manufacturing, they are so powerful. They are creating some sort of pressure to the government and to the ministry so that the jute, instead of jute packaging, they convert it to synthetic packaging. Sir, my earnest request to the honorable government that unless and until to stop this synthetic packaging system, the jute industry will be really in a very, very precarious condition. Sir, lastly, I think honorable members, I have seen some hands being raised a while ago. Those of you who wish to associate with a particular member who has made reflection may send details to the table office. Shri KRN Rajesh Kumar.
Honorable Chairman, sir, the Indian Farmers Fertilizers Cooperative Limited, also known as IFCO, is the world's largest fertilizers cooperative federation based in India, which is registered as a multi-state cooperative society. IFCO has 40,000 member cooperatives and is wholly owned by the Cooperative Societies of India. It is engaged in the business of manufacturing and marketing of the fertilizers. Though it is a cooperative manufacturing company, IFCO primarily focuses on fertilizers production in both dry and fluid forms. Nowadays, the IFCO manufacturing the nano urea also of the fertilizers of agriculture need. In the fact, IFCO mission is to enable Indian farmers to prosper through timely supply of the high quality fertilizers and services. Sir, earlier the IFCO was functioning under the administrative control of Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers. Technically, IFCO should be functioning under the C&F Ministry due to it is a technical nature. That was the suitable ministry. But IFCO has been brought under the administrative control of Ministry of Cooperation. With this the irrational decision, the efficiency of the IFCO might get affected due to the fact that policy making body will not have enough technical and commercial knowledge to coordinate the global in the field of chemicals and fertilizers, which is the prime focus of IFCO, who has the high expertise in this sector. Sir, quote an example, just because the medical college syllabus are in English, we are not appointing the English professor to teach the medical education. Or the law ministry is connecting all the bills for the ministry. Just because of this, all the department cannot brought under the law ministry. Therefore, I request the Honorable Minister, through this August House, the reallocate the fertilizers manufacturing company, IFCO, to the respective chemical and fertilizers ministry rationally. The consideration and basis of the future of the Indian farmers. Sir, in Ukraine issues, the C&F ministries is coordinate the demand of the fertilizers. Thank you, sir.
Srimati J.B. Mathur Hisam.
I'm deeply obliged by the opportunity. Thank you very much. So the fishermen community in Kerala is a fundamental part of the society, and they belong to the most backward community, but they serve the society in terms of both professional and social service. They are the ones who helped the entire thousands of people when the state of Kerala faced disastrous floods. And many of them work in gruesome conditions throughout and to feed their families. So many of them who go by spending 10,000 rupees a day on kerosene do not even come back without, they come back without zero catch. So now we have reached a point where the same community fishermen have not gone to sea for past many months because they have been agitating for 140 days for their survival. So their demands have been very genuine. They have not been asking for extensive things. Their demand was to implement a 475 crore package, which was promised to them as part of Vizhinjam container port construction. So now their demand, all they ask for is that an increased rent be given, because more than 400 families, fishermen families, are forced to live in cement warehouses, where their families are forced to live in places where with adolescent girls and newborn babies in very inhuman conditions, and which are very, very unsafe, and which is very, very brutal. So all they ask for is to do a comprehensive study on the sea erosion, and all they ask for is to do to include their member in the expert committee. And these are the basic things they ask for. But despite this being very, very basic requirements, these demands were not met, and so they had to agitate for 140 days. Despite this being for public good, the Chief Minister took 140 days to even hear their pain, to initiate a conversation, and also to discuss these legitimate demands. Although the Home Ministry is under, the Chief Minister had turned a blind eye earlier, the Home Ministry, which is under the Chief Minister, had all the time to register 2,000 cases against these poor fishermen, sir. So in all these conditions, the bishops, the priests who were supporting this poor fishermen have all been tortured in all this. In that being so, let me get to the point, sir. Let me get to the point. The point is, when there is a package being declared, that should be implemented in a time-bound manner, which is not being done. Now, the fishermen have called off their strike day before yesterday, but that is not because their demands are met, not because their demands are met, but because they are forced to, because loss of livelihood. So my request
Thank you, honorable member. Thank you, Siri. Okay. 30 seconds.
Sir, conclusion. Sir, conclusion. Allow me to complete, sir. Allow me to complete, please. Sir, complete, sir. The central government should intervene and provide and support the state government to implement the package and to ensure the rehabilitation of these fishermen are done, and to ensure the natural resources are protected, and also maintain developmental goals. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, I have a special weakness for this gender. We need to promote, but I expect very high standards also. Let us not claim indulgence where it is not due. Sri S. Selvagan Bathi.
Honorable Chairman, sir, I would like to break the notice of this August House that the Union Territory of Puducherry has no public service commission like other states and UTs in our country. Public Service Commission, as like in other states, is to ensure the recruitment to various posts in Group A and Group B categories in government services will benefit the locals. There is a huge need of a separate Public Service Commission, which is a major hindrance to the candidates belong to Union Territory of Puducherry in getting postings in Group A and Group B categories. Presently, Group A and Group B vacancies such as medical officers, specialists in Department of Health, professors in the Department of Higher and Technical Education, Agriculture and Veterinary College, even vice principal in government higher secondary schools are filled only through the Union Public Service Commission. Since the process of recruitment of candidates has been entrusted to the UPSC, the selection of candidate is done on all India basis. Since the recruitment test is conducted at the national level, Puducherry youth has less employment opportunities. They have to compete at all India level for a job in their own hometown, and only a few have been able to make it. Many persons from other states who get posted to Puducherry, they are very much reluctant to work in Puducherry. Especially they are posted in outlying regions of Karaikal, Mage, and Enam. Often they resign or leave their post and leave their hometown. This leads to large number of vacancies in different departments. Furthermore, the language is another barrier for the people who come from outside. Especially in schools, the vice principal is recruited by UPSC and they are not conversant in the local language, that is in Tamil. They are unable to communicate between the teachers and the students without knowing the local language. It creates vacuums and the problems of the students and teachers could not be assessed by the head of the institutions. Puducherry is competent to have its own employment legislation with the concurrence of the center for filling up Group A and B posts, only when it has its own public service commission. Therefore, I would request the Ministry of Home Affairs to kindly consider for setting up a separate public service commission in the Union Territory of Puducherry as like other states, since Puducherry is an union territory with a legislation. Thank you very much.
Shri P. Santosh Kumar.
I would like to draw the attention of this August House to the problems of gig workers in this country. According to the reports of Nidhi Aayog, we have at least 8 million gig workers, mainly food online workers in this country. So in many parts of this country, especially in Cochin, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, gig workers are on strike and the demands are very genuine, and I urge the government's intervention through you to protect the basic labor and human interests of these gig workers. For example, they're getting just 5 rupees for a delivery. And with these 5 rupees, they have to pay the fuel charges also. So we don't have any laws to protect the genuine interests of these gig workers. And moreover, no ESI, no PF, nothing related to the social security is there. So there is an urgent need of government's intervention. And according to the government, Nidhi Aayog, there is a chance of the enhancement of this number. This number may expand to 24 million within 4 or 5 years. So at least the government should take necessary steps to convene the so-called country heads of these online platforms, and there must be an initiative to protect their interests. This is sort of.
Shri Jawar Sarkar.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity. I wish to draw the special attention of the House to the dire necessity of increasing the rates of reimbursement of treatment, medical tests, equipments, etc. under the central government health scheme. As you are aware, sir, about 2 crore people are involved, including members of this House who avail of the facility. Unfortunately, these rates were fixed about 10 years ago, 8 or 10 years ago. And I'll just give a small example. The scale of payment fixed for CGHS are totally unsatisfactory and below market rates. For example, an RCT or root canal treatment of the tooth that costs 8,000 rupees in the market is reimbursed for rupees 500 only. That's all. Somnographic test for sleep apnea is fixed by clinics all over India at 10,000 to 12,000. The reimbursement given to CGHS is 638 rupees. This is not only irrational, so this is totally unjust. It's a due of the members of this House. It's a due of about 2 crore government employees and pensioners. Lumbar puncture costs 8,000 to 10,000. CGHS gives 600 rupees. I can go on giving more examples, but the fact that I wish to raise to this House is that this gross injustice needs to be contested. and a resolution to prevail upon the health and finance ministries to revisit these rates, to make it somewhere logical. Somewhere logical. They are quite a joke now. With these words, I thank you, sir.
Shri M. Shanmugam.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I want to raise the issue of the 67 lakhs employees provident pension scheme pensioners issue, sir. Their main demand is enhancement of minimum pension rupees 9,000 on the basis of recommendation of the OCRE committee. Number two, payment of dearness allowance along with the pension neutralize the price index. Number three, release the higher pension on actual salary as per the orders of the Honorable Apex Court on 4/10/2016 and 1/4/2019. Free medical treatment to all EPS 95 pensioners and their demands. Sir, there are about 67 lakhs EPS pensioners in the country are getting fixed pension ranging between rupees 400 to 4,000 per month without dearness allowance to neutralize the price index, and half of them are getting less than the 1,000 rupees pension in the leading very precarious life in the old age. Union government has enhanced minimum pension rupees 9,000 plus DA for the retirees since 2016, whereas the EPS pensioners who have equal contribution sacrifice the growth of the development of the nation have been treated unequally, and rupees 1,000 fixed minimum monthly pension has been given to them with effect from 1/9/2014 without any enhancement yet. In the year 2013, Petition Committee of Rajyasabha headed by Sri Bhagat Singh Gocharia in the report have recommended the payment of rupees 3,000 minimum pension, EPS 95 pension plus DATA neutralize the price index. But the said report is yet to be implemented by the Union Government of India for enhancement of the pension even after the lapse of 8 years. It is also pertinent to mention that as of now, there is a concluded judgment for payment of higher pension and actual salary in the light of the direction of the Honorable Apex Court. Sir, regarding this pension, the contribution for the pension is 8.33% from the employee's salary. Only 1.16 only the government have to share for this. For that, it is very pitiable that government has to come forward and give the pension. Now, the 67 lakhs pensioners are agitating regarding this one. Thank you.
Srimati Ranjit Ranjan.
धन्यवाद सभापति जी। मैं 23 नवंबर को जो एम्स में सर्वर हैकिंग का मामला है, जो पूरे देश की सुरक्षा से जुड़ा हुआ मामला है, उसके बारे में चर्चा करना चाह रही थी। आपका धन्यवाद। 23 नवंबर को एम्स के लगभग 5 जो डेटा कंप्यूटर है, उसका मामला सामने आया है कि सर्वर को हैक कर लिया गया है। लगभग 5 करोड़ मरीजों का जो डेटा है, उसके हैक करने की शंका सामने में आ रही है। और सबसे अहम बात यह है कि उसमें जो एम्स अस्पताल है, मामला इतना गंभीर है कि वहां पर सारे वीआईपीज भी, हमारे एक्स प्रधानमंत्री हो, पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री, मंत्री, कैबिनेट मंत्री, और अभी हमारे प्रधानमंत्री का भी एक वार्ड होता है, स्पेशल बिल्डिंग होती है, जिसमें उनके सारे मेडिकल डिटेल होते हैं, सारे मंत्रियों के मेडिकल डिटेल होते हैं, सारे पेशेंट के मेडिकल डिटेल्स होते हैं। तो ये सवाल उठता है कि 2021 में ही जब ये बात सामने आई थी और सीवाई फर्म ने ऑलरेडी मार्च 2021 में भारत को आगाह किया था कि आपके जितने भी इंडियन फार्मा है, जो हमारी सीरम है, बायोटेक है, पतंजलि है, डॉक्टर रेड्डीज हैं, अबॉट इंडिया है, इन सब पे साइबर हैकिंग का खतरा मंडरा रहा था। आज पूरे वर्ल्ड में सबसे ज्यादा अगर कहीं पर हैकिंग हो रही है तो वो हेल्थ सेक्टर है, और अमेरिका के बाद इंडिया के हेल्थ सेक्टर पे सबसे ज्यादा हैकिंग का खतरा मंडरा रहा है। सभापति जी, आज जो एम्स में हुआ, क्या ये बात सच है कि अभी भी वहां पे जो काम हो रहे हैं वो मैनुअल हो रहे हैं? क्या सफदरजंग में भी हैकिंग की कोशिश की गई और कुछ जगह पे हैकिंग हुई है? जो हमारा ई हॉस्पिटल नेटवर्क है वो भी हैक हुआ है, जो बहुत ही खतरनाक है। मेरे मन में कुछ सवाल है कि आखिर उनका मकसद क्या था? मरीजों का आधार कार्ड, उनका मोबाइल नंबर, उनका ईमेल नंबर, क्योंकि आधार कार्ड से खाते जुड़े होते हैं और कई बार आपके बैंक फ्रॉड के भी मामले आए हैं। क्या एक बड़े लेवल पे ये तैयारी हो रही है? सर, ये बहुत गंभीर मामला है। कई साइबर एक्सपर्ट और इवन डिफेंस एक्सपर्ट भी ये कह चुके हैं कि ये खतरनाक साजिश है इंडिया के खिलाफ। इसमें कई करोड़ों लोगों के हनी ट्रैप हो सकते हैं, कई लोगों के खाते में फ्रॉड हो सकते हैं, और कई लोगों का आखिर ये क्या वजह है कि ये मेडिकल रिकॉर्ड क्यों लिया जा रहा है? क्या ये डार्क इंटरनेट से जुड़ा हुआ मामला है? सर, मैं चाहूंगी, इस पे बहुत गंभीर मामला है, सरकार इस पे प्लीज आज नहीं तो कल इस पे जवाब दे।
Honorable members, on my own behalf and on behalf of the honorable members of the House, I have great pleasure in welcoming His Excellency Advocate Jacob Mudinda, Speaker of the Parliament of Republic of Zimbabwe. And members of the parliamentary delegation from Zimbabwe who are on a visit to India as our honored guests. The parliamentary delegation from Zimbabwe arrived in India on Monday, 5th December 2022, and are now seated in the special box. Besides Delhi, they shall also visit Agra on Saturday, 10th December 2020, before their final departure from India. We wish them happy and fruitful stay in our country. Through them, we convey our greetings and best wishes to the members of the parliament, the government, and the friendly people of the Republic of Zimbabwe. श्रीमती शान्ता छेत्री।
धन्यवाद सर, मेरो आफ्नो मातृभाषामा बोल्ने मौका दिनुभएकोमा। र आज म विशेष गुरुत्वपूर्ण विषय लिएर म मेरो वक्तव्य राख्न चाहन्छु। र यसै वर्ष 2022 सालमा भारतका माननीय प्रधानमन्त्री नरेन्द्र मोदी ज्यूको अध्यक्षतामा युनियन क्याबिनेटले 4 राज्यका अनेकौं जातिलाई संविधानको जनजाति लिस्टमा हाल्न स्वीकृति दियो। सर, फेरि पनि भारतीय गोर्खा बाहेक धेरै जातिलाई जनजातिको लिस्टमा राखिने कार्य हुँदैछ। सर, भारत देशमा भारतीय गोर्खा मात्र होला जसलाई भारतका माननीय प्रधानमन्त्री अनि गृह मन्त्री स्वयंले छुटेको गोर्खाहरूलाई जनजाति बनाउनमा ठोस पहल गर्ने बाचा गर्नु भएको थियो। र सर, तपाईको माध्यमबाट म के भन्न चाहन्छु भन्दाखेरि केन्द्र सरकारले जनजातिको निम्ति 3 पल्ट कमिटी त बनाए, तर यी भारतीय गोर्खाहरूलाई आँखा छल्ने काम मात्र प्राप्त केही भएन। र जब पनि जनजातिको प्रश्न सोधिन्छ, आरजीआईबाट राज्यबाट दस्तावेज आउनुपर्छ भन्छ, तब 3 वटा कमिटी त्यस समय किन गठन गरियो? मेरो प्रश्न छ। र भारतको केन्द्रका ट्राइबल मिनिस्टरले पठाएको पत्र संख्या 16017/11/2022 CLM दिनांक 3/6/2022 मा उल्लेख गरिएको छ कि राज्यबाट पठाएको रिपोर्टलाई आरजीआईले मानिलिएन। र यस कारणले म भन्न चाहन्छु आरजीआईले अहिलेसम्म यी 11 जात गोष्ठीलाई जनजाति बनाउन हेतु के कस्तो दस्तावेज संकलन गरेको छ तथा राज्यहरूले पठाएको दस्तावेजलाई पनि सदनमा पेश गरायोस् जसले गर्दा केन्द्र सरकारलाई यी जातिलाई जनजाति घोषित गर्न सहयोग मिल्नेछ। म आशा राख्छु चाँडै भन्दा पनि चाँडै यस विषयलाई तपाईहरुले ध्यान आकर्षण गरेर अनि यसको निर्णय लिनुहुन्छ भन्ने म आशा राख्दै मेरो वक्तव्य शेष गर्न चाहन्छु। धन्यवाद।
श्री वीरेंद्र प्रसाद बैश्य।
Thank you very much, sir. I standing here to Rashid Barfukan. Sir, country is today celebrating 400 years of birth century of Mahavir Lasit Barfukan, sir. I'm going to speaking about the 17th centuries of our country, sir. In 17th centuries, many parts of India was ruled by the Mughal. And Mughal empire was led by, at that time, Aurangzeb. And according to history recognized Aurangzeb very highly, strong leader, powerful leader, and under his leadership, Mughal occupied almost every part of the India, sir. But in the 17th century, Assam was ruled by Sir Ahom Kingdom Satradhar Singha. And Satradhar Singha appointed Mahavir Lasit Barfukan is the army chief of Ahom Kingdom, sir. In the 17th century, sir, under the leadership of Ram Singh, great soldier, great Senapati, under the leadership of Ram Singh, Aurangzeb sent a huge army force to capture Assam, to capture Guwahati. But under the leadership of Mahavir Lasit Barfukan, Mughal failed to capture Guwahati, and under the leadership of Mahavir Lasit Barfukan, Assamese people, Assam, Ahom Kingdom defeated Mughal, sir. Sir, Indian history, not only for Mughal, India history equally for Shivaji, equally Rana Pratap, and equally Lasit Barfukan, sir. Sir, history recognizes Mughal for everything. History recognizes Aurangzeb, sir. But history failed to recognize Mahavir Lasit Barfukan, sir. So I ask the House, kindly read up the Indian Constitution and it should be included in our history, sir. Sir, I request to the government kindly to read up the history and you should try to include Mahavir Lasit Barfukan in the syllabus and curriculum in every Indian college, every university, and the people should know patriotism of Lasit Barfukan who defeated Mughal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Today, I would like to mention the problem faced by some farmers in the northeastern states. I hope you may know that Areca plantation is one of the biggest occupations of the northeastern states since many years ago. Especially Areca plants are grown in the state of Mizoram and Tripura among the tribal areas in a large quantity, so that it is the main occupation for many tribal people in those areas. Unfortunately, Honorable Chairman, I want to inform this august House that the farmers of Mizoram and Tripura could not export their own Areca product to the other states of India during this year. Their fresh Areca production was stopped and seized by some government officials along the highway within the state of Assam, following the instruction given by the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. This means that the instruction given by the Union government is a great loss for the tribal people living in the Northeast. In the meantime, dry Areca of Southeast Asian products entered India to Myanmar in a bulk quantity. As report received from officials that the Union government is trying to stop the incoming of foreign dry areca products. Honorable Chairman, I highly appreciate that this foreign areca production smuggling must be stopped from entering our country. So I kindly request the Indian government not to confuse our own areca product and foreign dry areca product. It is different thing. Foreign areca product is in the form of dry, but our own native products in the form of fresh one. We cannot confuse them. So there is no reason to stop the sales and seize the native areca product anywhere within Indian Union unless we are treating the Northeastern India as a foreign country. Let the smuggling of foreign areca be stopped. In the meantime, let the native areca production be free. Thank you so much, sir.
Shri Sant Balbir Singh.
ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਾਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਣੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਪਾਣੀ ਮੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ, ਪਾਣੀ ਸੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਧਰਤੀ 5 ਦਰਿਆਵਾਂ ਦੀ ਧਰਤੀ ਬੇਆਬ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਆ, 19 ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ 19 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਮਿਲਨਾਡੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਾਂ 50 ਬੋਗੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਵੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਪਲਾਈ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਚੱਲੀ ਸੀ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ 21 ਸੂਬਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 10 ਕਰੋੜ ਲੋਕ ਪੀਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਸੰਕਟ ਨਾਲ ਜੂਝ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਨੀਤੀ ਆਯੋਗ ਦੀ ਸਨ 18-19 ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ 2 ਲੱਖ ਲੋਕ ਪੀਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਾਫ਼ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਾ ਮਿਲਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੌਤ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਨੀਤੀ ਆਯੋਗ ਦੀ 2020 ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ 2030 ਤੱਕ ਕੁੱਲ ਆਬਾਦੀ ਦਾ 40% ਹਿੱਸਾ ਪੀਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਂਝਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਸੋ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਵਾਟਰ ਬੋਰਡ ਜੋ 5 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 2039 ਤੱਕ ਧਰਤੀ ਹੇਠਲਾ ਪਾਣੀ 300 ਮੀਟਰ ਭਾਵ 1000 ਫੁੱਟ ਥੱਲੇ ਚੱਲ ਜੂਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਰੀਆਂ ਧਾਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਖਤਰਾ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਖੇਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਦੂਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ, 1000 ਫੁੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਖੇਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਖੇਤੀ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਸੂਬਾ ਤੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਜਿਸ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ, ਪਾਣੀ ਮੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ, ਪਾਣੀ ਸੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 80% ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਆ ਖੇਤੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਧਰਤੀ ਥੱਲੋਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਮੋਟਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੇਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸਿਰਫ 20% ਖੇਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਨੀਤੀ ਆਯੋਗ ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ 133 ਬਲਾਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 109 ਬਲਾਕ ਡਾਰਕ ਜ਼ੋਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਏ, ਭਾਵ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵਡੇਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਭੰਡਾਰ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੇ, ਅੱਜ ਪਾਣੀ ਮੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਵਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਿਤਾ ਮਾਤਾ ਧਰਤ ਮਹੱਤ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਜੀਓ ਹੈ ਜਿਤ ਹਰਿਆ ਸਭ ਕੋਏ, ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾ ਆਧਾਰ। ਜੇਕਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਾ ਬਚਿਆ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਵੇਖੋ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਦਾ ਅਨਾਜ ਦਾ ਢਿੱਡ ਭਰਿਆ। ਅੱਜ ਪਾਣੀ ਮੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ, ਪਾਣੀ ਸੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਪਾਣੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਹੱਸਦਾ ਵਸਦਾ ਰਹਿ ਸਕੇ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।
Shri Vaiko.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, sir. I would like to draw the attention of the House to you to a serious problem faced by the fishermen of Tamil Nadu. Apart from the fishermen of Sri Lanka, what they are facing there here from Tamil Nadu, for the past 45 years, more than 800 fishermen have been killed by the Sri Lankan Navy. Repeatedly they came. It is continuously attacking our Tamil fishermen. So many were dead and thousands of fishermen were brutally attacked and their boats and fishing trawlers were damaged and fishing nets destroyed. They have not given any compensation to the next of kin of fishermen who were shot dead. Recently, they have started capturing the boats and put them onto action. Unfortunately, it has become a serious story, and demonstrations and agitations are going continuously, peacefully by the Tamil Nadu fishermen. There have been several incidents of Sri Lankan Navy personnel even firing at Indian fishermen in the Pak Strait and seizing their boats, damaging their boats and high-handedness by the Sri Lankan forces. In the months of October and November 2022 also, Sri Lankan Navy continued its acts of infringement upon the traditional rights of our fishermen in the Pak Strait, which is a challenge to the Union of India. Recently, 14 fishermen were arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy. The frequent arrests and seizure of boats has shattered the livelihood of many fishermen. I would urge upon the Union government to take urgent steps to secure the early release of all the fishermen and their boats unconditionally. The government should also put diplomatic pressure on the Sri Lankan government for giving compensation and solace to the next of kin who were shot dead and damaged, boats damaged by the Sri Lankan Navy. They should hold a high-level talk to find a permanent solution to this non-stop harassment by the Sri Lankan Navy. Thank you very much, sir.
I already indicated that those of the members who seek to associate may send information to the table office. Srimati Seema Dwivedi.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, आपने बोलने का अवसर दिया, इसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, एक ऐसे विषय पर मैं आपका ध्यान आकृष्ट करना चाहती हूँ। गोरखपुर से प्रयागराज जोड़ने के लिए एकमात्र रास्ता है और उस रास्ते पर मुगराबाद शाहपुर एक रेलवे स्टेशन है, उसके बगल से बाईपास बनने की बहुत आवश्यकता है। महोदय, मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ कि प्रयागराज में लोग महाकुंभ का मेला भी लगता है और महोदय उच्च न्यायालय भी है, मेडिकल कॉलेज भी है, यूनिवर्सिटी भी है। तमाम लोग दवाइयों के लिए, पढ़ाइयों के लिए और गंगा जी में स्नान करने के लिए तमाम लोग जाते रहते हैं। लेकिन महोदय इतना भयंकर वहां पर जाम लगता है, कम से कम 1.5 घंटे जाम लगने के कारण मुगराबाद शाहपुर हमारी नगर पालिका भी है और बहुत सारे वहां पर व्यापारी हैं, जिसको देखते हुए महोदय बहुत ही कष्ट का अनुभव करना पड़ता है। मैं इस विषय को कई बार सदन में उठा चुकी हूं, लेकिन पता नहीं क्या कारण है कि ये बाईपास नहीं बन पा रहा है। मेरा आपसे अनुरोध है कि प्रत्येक दशा में अगली बार जब हमारा सत्र आए तो हम ये कह सकें कि वहां पर हमारा काम प्रारंभ हो गया है। ये माननीय बहुत ही जनहित का मामला है और बहुत सैकड़े लोगों का वहां पर आना जाना रहता है। अभी कुंभ का मेला लगेगा, लोग कहां से पतित पावनी गंगा में जाएंगे स्नान करने के लिए। मुझे मैं आपसे अनुरोध करती हूँ कि सरकार का ध्यान इस पर आकृष्ट करके प्रत्येक दशा पर वहां पर बाईपास का काम प्रारंभ हो जाए। आपने महोदय मुझे बोलने का अवसर दिया, आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
डॉक्टर शांतनु सेन.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, as we know that huge number of passengers travel by railway. When Madam Mamata Banerjee was the then rail minister, she started one project called Ijjat Monthly, by the help of which one person used to travel 100 kilometers per day by spending only 25 rupees per day for the entire month. Now we know that major part of the rail is being privatized, and the rail ticket and the monthly ticket and platform tickets, they are becoming high day by day. So my humble submission before my government is, considering the poor section of the commuters who travel by railway every day, please start one scheme like Ijjat Monthly or whatever, which can benefit them, and by paying a small amount, they can travel a significant distance per day. Thank you so much, sir.
Honorable members, our question hour is very important. Question hour gives an opportunity to enforce accountability. And it is most productive where more questions are traversed. And that happens when there is pointed response and pointed supplementaries. I'm sure we'll bear that in mind. Question hour, question number 16, Shri A.A. Rahim. First supplementary.
Sir, may I read the first sentence of your answer?
employment and retrenchment, including layoffs, are a regular phenomena in industrial establishment. Sir, this is quite unfortunate answer, and this is quite evasive. Sir, what is the role of the government in this particular circumstances, especially in the area of layoff in the IT sector? Layoffs and retrenchment of the IT sector is a very grave issue in the country. Sir, very proudly, we can say that the Kerala government set up a welfare and protect scheme for this particular IT sector. My question is that, does the ministry have details of which states have such funds, such schemes? And does the union government intend to set up such a scheme for welfare for the IT employees?
Honorable Minister.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, जहां तक ले ऑफ का विषय है, इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट एक्ट के सेक्शन 2 में ले ऑफ की परिभाषा और तरीका दिया गया है, और जहां तक इसके संबंध में कार्यवाही करने का प्रश्न है, जो राज्य कॉम्पिटेंट अथॉरिटी है वो इसके संबंध में कार्यवाही करने के अधिकारी है। जो भी आईटी फर्म्स जिन राज्यों में है, वहां का जो कॉम्पिटेंट अथॉरिटी है वो ले ऑफ पे कार्यवाही करती है, और यही मैंने अपने उत्तर में दिया है।
Second supplementary.
Sir, again, unfortunately, sorry to say that, sir, one line, may I read this, the very operational part of this answer. As per the ID Act, establishments employing 100 persons or more are required to seek prior permission of the appropriate government. You mentioned this act here, your answer. Sir, this is the problem is that it has been said that the IT companies do a workaround methodology to avoid this legal issue of mass layoffs by forcing IT employees to resign voluntarily. Sir, this is the issue. Sir, this is the issue. Is this culture under the notice of the government of Union of India? If yes, what are the methods adopted to regulate this culture?
Honorable Minister.
माननीय सदस्य ने जो प्रश्न पूछा है, एक शिकायत नेसेंट इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी एम्प्लॉइज सेनेट की तरफ से 19/11/2022 को मंत्रालय को प्राप्त हुई थी, और मंत्रालय ने भी बेंगलोर के फील्ड ऑफिसर चीफ लेबर कमिश्नर के माध्यम से जो संबंधित कंपनी है उनको नोटिस भेजा था। नोटिस भेजने के बाद कंप्लेनेंट स्वयं नहीं आए, लेकिन कंपनी के लोग वहां पर उपस्थित हुए थे, और उन्होंने अपने जवाब में ये बताया कि उन्होंने वॉलंटरी सेपरेशन प्रोग्राम जो है वो शुरू किया था, जो किसी भी प्रकार से फोर्सफुल नहीं था। वो कर्मचारियों को स्वेच्छा से वो अपना स्वेच्छा से अगर वो छोड़ना चाहे तो वही प्रोग्राम था, और वो भी केवल 30/11/2022 तक था। मामले का पूरा संज्ञान लिया गया है, किसी भी प्रकार से कोई फोर्सफुल ले ऑफ नहीं था।
Dola Sen.
Thank you, Chairman, sir, for giving me the permission. My supplementary question ये है कि हम आपके माध्यम से मिनिस्टर साहब से जानना चाहते हैं कि जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कंसर्न में डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट, कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन हो रहा है, ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री बोर्ड, BSNL एटसेट्रा, उसकी वर्कर्स को जब जो यूपीएससी एग्जाम के बाद जॉब मिला, उसको भी कंपल्शन होना पड़ रहा कि ट्रांसफर होने का और VRS लेने का, तो वो तो वर्चुअली रिट्रेंचमेंट और ले ऑफ की तरह ही हो रहा है। तो उसके बारे में कैसे, हाउ द मिनिस्टर विल जस्टिफाई that no retrenchment and layoff in the central government employees, and moreover work visa जो में जो काम करते हैं वो वर्कर के लिए भी रिसेंट layoff के बारे में मिनिस्टर साहब क्या बताएंगे, और सरकार ये अदर कंट्री में जो एम्प्लॉय काम करते इसके ऊपर क्या साजिश लेगी?
माननीय सभापति महोदय, इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट एक्ट के सेक्शन 2 में ले ऑफ और 200 में रिट्रेचमेंट की पूरी परिभाषा तय की गई है। अगर कोई भी संस्थान में माननीय सदस्य के संबंध में कोई ऐसी सूचना है जो उनके पास है और कहीं पर कानून का पालन नहीं करेंगे, तो वो निश्चित रूप से हमारे संज्ञान में लाएंगे, तो कार्रवाई करेंगे।
श्री S. सेल्वागनाबी। श्रीमती रंजीत रंजन।
मैं आपके माध्यम से मंत्री साहब से पूछना चाहती हूँ कि क्या बहुराष्ट्रीय और भारतीय कंपनियों ने अपनी अपनी कंपनियों में बड़े पैमाने पर की जा रही श्रमिकों की छटनी करने के भारत में लागू जो विभिन्न कानून है, क्या उसका पालन किया है? यदि नहीं, तो सरकार ने ऐसी कितनी कंपनियों को कानून के विरुद्ध की गई श्रमिकों की छटनी के संबंध में नोटिस जारी किया? यदि हाँ, तो उसका प्लीज विस्तृत ब्यौरा दे, अगर नहीं तो उसका क्या कारण है? धन्यवाद।
माननीय सभापति महोदय, जहां तक बहुराष्ट्रीय कंपनियों का सवाल है, जो बहुराष्ट्रीय कंपनियां एक से अधिक राज्यों में और 10 से ज्यादा एम्प्लॉय होते हैं, उनके नियमों का पालन केवल पेमेंट ऑफ ग्रेचुइटी एक्ट 1972 के अंतर्गत केंद्र सरकार द्वारा कराया जाता है। शेष उनकी सारी शर्तों का पालन संबंधित राज्य सरकारों के द्वारा की जाती है और हमारा लेबर मंत्रालय की जो वार्षिक रिपोर्ट आती है उससे हर राज्य से रिपोर्ट लेके प्रस्तुत किया जाता है।
Honorable members, I find that when we are having a discussion on a particular question, some members raise their hands. We have a mechanism that those of you who seek information from the Honorable Minister on that particular question may send your slips to the table office. That is being done by most of you. Some of you may do the same. 17. So what do we do? Honorable Minister.
Chairman, sir.
Shri Sasmit Patra.
The Honorable Minister has given a very detailed reply. I thank him for that. It's specific to Odisha that I want to raise this question. Honorable Minister has mentioned that at the Paradip port of Odisha, the relative sea level change has been 1.03 millimeters per year for the duration of year 1966 to 2005. And the NDMA therefore has constructed a saline embankment in the state of Odisha to avoid the flooding and ingress of salinity. My specific question to the Honorable Minister would be to give details regarding the saline embankment in the state of Odisha. What is the length of it and how does it help protect the coast of Odisha from the ingress of salinity and avoid the flooding with respect to the relative sea level change? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Chairman, sir, since the question was in general not pertaining to Odisha, but I would not mind coming to that. But before that, I would just like to share with this august house that considering the issue of erosion, which the honorable member has very wisely raised and which is often not discussed either in public debates or even in the parliament, the National Disaster Management Authority has recently taken two initiatives broadly, which apply to all the coastal states, including Odisha. Aid that to formulate a national policy to address the present as well as the future related erosions through mitigation and rehabilitation. So that would also, to an extent, address the concern raised by the honorable member. And mitigation policy, which clearly defines the localized interventions required to reduce the erosion. And secondly, at the same time, they have also floated a fund, which is known as the National Disaster Mitigation Fund, under Section 47, bracket A of the Disaster Management Act of 2005. So this fund is exclusively meant for the purpose of mitigation in respect of disasters covered under the Disaster Management Act. So having said that, now as far as the erosions are concerned, in general, before that, I would also mention over here that this is the government which has for the first time given due consideration to the ocean-related and coastal-related concerns. Only recently we had the world's largest coastal cleanup campaign because we have the longest coastal area, 7,500 kilometers, and we have an ocean which is named after the country called the Indian Ocean. So we had the 75-day campaign which began on 3rd July, culminated on the 17th of September on the International Coastal Cleanup Day. And this is also the first government which is now seeking to explore the ocean resources. I might reiterate in this house a very significant fact that the Honorable Prime Minister not once but twice from the ramparts of Red Fort in his Independence Day address has referred to what is now being described as the Deep Ocean Mission, which is being launched by the Ministry of Earth Sciences. He spoke about it in the Independence Day of 2021. He again reiterated in 2022 just to emphasize, because the future 25 years, the entire economy of India is going to be supplemented from these ocean resources, which are both living as well as non-living, the living being the fishery, etc., the non-living being the minerals, metals. So the huge property line. No, I'll come to that. I'm just, no. I'm educating you. I'm educating you before educating him. Now, coming specifically, though I could have, I hope Mr. Jaira will appreciate, I could have easily escaped out of this question. Because it's not per se Odisha related. But I'm offering myself. So I hope you'll appreciate that instead of, being sarcastic about it.
Minister,
so I will mention.
One second. I would urge that keep in mind the chairman.
Yes.
If there is an issue between the Honorable Minister and the member, I am to be the platform.
Yes, sir.
And these are the days where electronic platforms are extremely effective and impactful.
Yes.
Let us believe in the human platform.
I just want to add 150 kilometers long, and I'm glad that compared to the honorable member who asked it, the others are more interested, even from down south. So 550 kilometers long is your coastal area. 26% erosion has occurred. 23% is stable. 51% is already in the process of being covered. The sea level rise was 1.03 millimeter in the last about 30 years, beginning from 1966 to 2005. Puri district has the erosion maximum of 15%, stable 70%, and it's being taken care of 78%. And all these other measures which are being taken in respect of other coastal areas are being taken here also. So I have exceeded my brief, Chairman, sir. Thank you.
Mr. P. Wilson.
Sir, both in Chennai as well as Karaikal, the Indian Meteorological Department is utilizing worn-out equipments, and even I would say it's outdated equipments, which is wrongly recording the weather conditions. It so happens, sir, in November and December, the weather department said it is a sunny day, but we received heavy floods on that day. Sir, have you taken any steps to replace these worn-out equipments with the updated latest equipments? Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Honorable Minister.
The honorable member is well taken. Of course, it was pointed out. I personally visited that spot also. We have one of the oldest setups over there at Chennai near the harbor. And it is in the process of being replaced, updated, because this updating has to go on from time to time. Because the technology is changed, we move over to the next generation. Like now we don't no longer use lighthouses. We have one of the finest lighthouse for ship movement in Chennai, which is no longer now because we have other means. So similarly, it is in the process.
Sri John Britas.
Thank you, Chairman. Sir, when we lose 1 inch of land at the border at LC or LOC, these are headlines. But we lose hectares of land at the coastline. For example, in Kerala, during the last 1 decade, as per the study by the Kerala University, more than 700 acres of land has been lost to the sea. And 41% of the coastline of Kerala is vulnerable. I would like to know from the minister, does the center has a specific plan to ensure that our precious land is not lost and the lives and livelihood of the people are not affected? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Chairman, sir, the member's concern is well taken. There are certain specific issues related to Kerala. One of them, what is popularly described in Malayalam language is Kalla Kadal, if I pronounce that rightly, is they have these swell waves happening almost every year. Kalla Kadal, is it?
No.
What is, how do you use? I wrote it in English. Okay. So thanks
Mr.
for correcting.
Muralidharan should teach you some Malayalam.
Okay. So thanks for correcting me. So what I am saying is that it's happening almost every year, and the institute related there, the Information Ocean Institute in China, in Chennai, has now developed pre-warning devices for that, and is also taking steps to develop some remedial measures, because I agree with him that this part of the coast is a little more vulnerable for its own reasons.
Question number 18, Shri Sujit Kumar.
Number 18.
Honorable Minister.
Statements laid on the table.
Supplementary one.
Sir, in our country, we have something called the Antiquities and the Art Treasures Act of 1972, wherein there is a penalty of up to 3 years for anyone trying to export any antiquity or art treasure. Sir, in my view, this is pretty inadequate because these antiquities and treasures of ours are priceless. So, sir, will the government consider amending this act to increase the penalty provision and make it very stringent so that instead of 3 years, we can enhance it up to 10 years of penalty, which will deter the antisocial elements and the criminal elements who are stealing and exporting these antiquities of ours to other countries?
Honorable Minister.
Already being worked at, and we'll inform the member also. The work is in progress on this ground. We are already working on the amendments to this act.
Second supplementary.
As per the government reports, there are close to 4,400,000 heritage structures and ancient temples in our country, and 22,000 of these are in the state of Odisha. Now, sir, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister whether there is any proposal to formulate a national heritage protection policy, because we do not have any such policy as on date, and whether the government will consider creating a database to, sir, document all these ancient treasures of ours, and we can use modern technologies like blockchain to do so.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Chairman, sir, this is under national mission for tabulating all these acts and artifacts is already a work in progress. The work is being undertaken, and that's how these antiquities have already been listed. And members, right, it is more than 3 lakh, close to 4 lakh pieces and above, which have been documented in particular state, and overall 8 lakhs and above. So far as data management and blockchain technology, etc., is concerned, that work is also being undertaken. And for other aspects as well, we are in touch with IIT Delhi, and that project is being worked at.
Shri N.R. Ilango.
Honorable Chairman, sir. Sir, the copper plates of Rajendra Chola, which mentions about the grant given to Buddhism by his father, Rajaraja Chola, those copper plates are now in Leiden Museum. They are now called as Leiden plates. Similarly, copper plates of the Pandya kings, which are called as Velvikudi plates, are in London Museum. Will the minister please to state what are the steps taken by this ministry to bring back those copper plates to India, and what is the progress on? Thank you.
Honorable Chairman, sir, we have been in touch through the MEA with these governments, and we are constantly working to retrieve them and bring them back. And that is again a constant process which our ministry is working at, and both ministries are coordinating, because as a policy, these are important. Post 2014, 229 artifacts have been brought back by the country. Earlier, before this period, from 47 till 2014, only 11 artifacts were brought back. So it's only a matter of record that this is how government's operating right now.
Shri Rakesh Sinha.
मैं मंत्री जी से जानना चाहता हूं कि दुनिया के 81 देशों में हमारे एंटिक्विटीज पड़े हुए हैं। क्या भारत सरकार को इस तरह का सर्वे कराएगी कि इनकी संख्या क्या है और किस किस समय ये एंटिक्विटीज गए हैं और इनमें से कितने को वापस लाने के लिए कोई संधि हो या हम दूसरे रास्ते से उसे अपने देश में वापस लाएं? धन्यवाद।
ऑनरेबल चेयरमैन साहब, इसके ऊपर यूनेस्को की कन्वेंशन है और उसके कई आर्टिकल्स हैं। उन आर्टिकल्स के मुताबिक जिन भी देशों ने उस पर संधि पर हस्ताक्षर किए हैं वो ड्यूटी बाउंड है रिट्रीव करने के लिए, और लगातार भारत सरकार इस काम में जुटी हुई है। अगर ऐसा नहीं होता तो 2014 से अब तक 229 के आसपास जो आर्टिफैक्ट्स आए हैं, 223 वो सबसे अधिक 14 के बाद अब तक आए हैं और उससे पहले केवल 11 लौटे हैं। इसमें जो सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत है वो ये है कि ASI जो आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया है, अगर वहां से कोई आर्टिफैक्ट जाता है तो उसकी FIR आदि होती है जिसका हमारे पास डॉक्यूमेंट डॉजियर होता है, लेकिन जब राज्य सरकारों के माध्यम से कुछ आर्टिफैक्ट जाते हैं उसका डॉजियर डॉक्यूमेंट FIR हम लोगों के पास नहीं होती, और जो प्रोसेस है उसकी CBI को इन्फॉर्म करने की, कस्टम एजेंसीज को इन्फॉर्म करने की, अन्य प्रोसेसेस वो भी बहुत सीरियसली नहीं लिया गया। तो इस कारण से हम सफर कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि उसको प्रूव करना होता है, उसकी एविडेंस देनी होती है, उसकी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होती है, और कई बार एंटीक्विटीज लिस्टेड एंटीक्विटीज भी नहीं है और उनकी चोरी भी कहीं लिस्टेड नहीं है। तो थोड़ी दिक्कतें आ रही हैं, लेकिन बावजूद उसके हम लोग इस पर कार्यरत हैं।
श्री राधा मोहन दास अग्रवाल।
महोदय, भारत के प्रथम राष्ट्रपति भारत रत्न राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी को 26 जनवरी 1950 को एक विशेष घड़ी प्रस्तुत की गई थी। देश में ऐसी सिर्फ 2 घड़ियां थीं, एक उन्हें दी गई और एक तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री को दी गई। वो घड़ी सदाकत आश्रम के म्यूजियम में रखी गई थी, वहां से वो घड़ी गायब हो गई। 2011 में जेनेवा की एक संस्था, नीलाम करने वाली संस्था स्टोथबाई ने उसको नीलाम करने का प्रयास किया। राजेंद्र प्रसाद के प्रपौत्र गोरखपुर के रहने वाले हैं। उन्होंने बहुत तेजी से काम किया और वहाँ के एम्बेसडर को ये सूचना पहुंचाई। ये नीलामी रुक गई, लेकिन न जाने किन कारणों से नीलामी तो रुकी, लेकिन वह घड़ी वापस में सरकार के जानकारी में होने के बावजूद वो वापस नहीं लाई गई। माननीय मंत्री जी से आपके माध्यम से मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि क्या उतनी महत्वपूर्ण घड़ी जो राष्ट्रीय अस्मिता से जुटी हुई है, सरकार इसे संज्ञान में लेगी, उसे खोज करके भारतवर्ष से वापस लाने और सदाकत आश्रम तक पहुंचाने का प्रयास करेगी।
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, मेरे को इसकी स्पेसिफिक केस की जानकारी नहीं है, वो प्राप्त करके मैं आपको सूचना अवश्य दूंगी। और अगर वो रुकी है ऑक्शन, तो जाहिर तौर पर उसमें भारत सरकार का हस्तक्षेप के बिना वो हो नहीं सकता। तो भारत सरकार ने इस पर